LIV Golf generates great impact by announcing a giant TV broadcasting deal. This means a huge change for the global golf industry. Until now, major media channels have given a lot of attention to players who switched from the PGA Tour to LIV Golf. The new league has attracted several PGA players with its multi-million-dollar contracts and is constantly seeking changes to attract more players, engaging in a fierce competition with the PGA Tour. And now, what was missing for the league sponsored by Saudi Arabia has arrived. Until now, LIV Golf had no TV broadcasting contract and has not rested a single moment since the league was launched in search of a TV deal. All the work in recent months has paid off, as LIV Golf has finally secured a multi-million-dollar TV broadcasting contract. The contract provides for broadcasting for several years with a giant television network in the United States. This ensures greater visibility for the league, which will certainly generate more revenue through sponsorships and, consequently, larger prizes to attract more athletes. But not everyone is happy with this deal. While LIV Golf is celebrating the agreement signed with the TV network, stakeholders are not very pleased. These differences of opinions are not new. During the past year, we have seen that golf is living in a war and each person has their own vision on the matter, as was clear in this broadcasting deal. Now you may be wondering, how will the agreement with the TV network affect LIV Golf and all sports fans? Pay close attention, as the next few days will be decisive for all golf lovers. The second season will begin in a few months. Celebrating the TV broadcasting deal is LIV Golf CEO, Greg Norman. This was the league's main goal since its creation, to ensure greater visibility for LIV. And this deal could not have come at a better time, just months before the next season. Greg Norman described the agreement signed with the CW network as a historic moment for golf. This is because the league supported by Saudi Arabia will broadcast its tournaments on national network television in the United States for the first time. The CEO of LIV also said that the contract with CW brings benefits not only to LIV Golf but also to the athletes who participate in the competitions. According to a statement from ESPN, the CW network will broadcast the opening of the next season of LIV Golf, which will take place in Mexico. In a press release, it was announced that the first rounds of the events will be available on the CW app, while the final rounds will be available on the CW network. According to sources linked to the companies, an agreement was made to share revenue, although no details of the contract have been officially confirmed or released. Despite future production costs, LIV Golf will certainly receive something in return. The league incurred losses throughout its first season, and a contract like this will return significant revenue to the company's coffers, which can be used for future investments. This is why Greg Norman celebrated the agreement so much. He spent much of the last year in an incessant search for a television channel that could broadcast the upcoming season. According to the CEO of LIV Golf, this was the main issue that the league was seeking a solution for. But it wasn't just that. Greg Norman made another revelation that surprised everyone. The agreement with the CW was the fastest in history. No other sports league in the world has ever reached an agreement as quickly as LIV Golf. He also admitted that the partnership took longer than expected. The news was announced on January 19th. As expected, major critics of the World Golf Hall of Fame remained completely silent after the broadcast partnership was announced with the CW network. The TV network will be responsible for broadcasting LIV Golf for several years and will start during the upcoming season. The excellent agreement between LIV Golf and the CW network allows for a great deal of exposure for the league's athletes and partners, but for Greg Norman, this is not the main point. The contract allows the CEO to shift his focus to other activities that have been put on the back burner and need to be resolved. Members of the tour have been calling for these issues to be addressed for several months. After this major agreement is concluded, the CEO of LIV Golf will shift his focus to seeking eligibility for the LIV World Rankings, as well as starting the process of seeking corporate sponsors for the league. Several top golf athletes who were at the top of the rankings ended up losing many positions. Golf rankings change constantly, which means that athletes such as Cam Smith, Brooks Koepka, British Open, and Dustin Johnson will drop several positions in the world ranking and thus will not be able to participate in several championships such as the Masters. Therefore, we know that after the closed transmission agreement, Norman's next challenge is to seek LIV Golf's eligibility for the official ranking of the golf world. In addition, he intends to close corporate sponsorship contracts aimed at reducing the large deficit in LIV's finances that occurred in the first year. While LIV cannot achieve eligibility for the World Golf Ranking, the league's athletes could not play the Masters based on the world ranking, as the classification would most likely change and they would continue to fall out of the top positions. Even after several attempts, LIV Golf is still not qualified for the classification points to be considered for the world ranking. And the situation may get even worse for athletes because, so far, we do not know if LIV will be eligible for the world ranking in the second season. Even with this situation to be resolved, the agreement made with CW is a great achievement for the Saudi League, and we can consider that Greg Norman has managed to alleviate some of the pressure he has been under to fulfill the promises made to league participants. The CEO of LIV Golf also said that the league's partnership with CW will reach about 120 million households and that both LIV and CW see great value in each other. Therefore, according to Norman, it is a perfect match. He also made it clear that the CW proposal was not the only one being analyzed. There were several proposals being analyzed together. We cannot say for sure whether this is true or not because LIV Golf does not publish all the offers it received. But everything indicates that the league was also negotiating with Fox Sports for broadcasting rights on its sports channel. According to unofficial sources, the Saudis would buy airtime from Fox, thus guaranteeing coverage of the tournaments. Normally, companies pay a good sports rights fee to be able to broadcast events, but this would not happen with LIV. As reported, the Saudi League would buy airtime to broadcast the games, but this was seen as a problem for attracting companies for commercials. This was reportedly the main issue in negotiations between LIV and Fox. According to a media executive, LIV made mistakes in talks with various companies such as NBC, CBS, Amazon, Disney, and Apple. Fox Sports only entered negotiations after the CEO and president of the company, Lachlan Murdoch, contacted LIV Golf. Reportedly, there were employees at Fox who did not want the company to be involved in the negotiations but were forced to. In October of last year, according to the Sports Business Journal, Jared Kushner, son-in-law of Donald Trump, contacted Fox to generate interest in a live streaming package still in 2021. Apparently, through his private equity firm, Affinity Partners, Kushner offered more than $2 billion in financing through the Saudi Public Investment Fund. LIV reportedly requested a fee for broadcast rights in the second year of the agreement and a fixed television schedule, but neither was accepted by Fox. TV media professionals believe that Fox proposed to put LIV Golf tournaments on later dates, and the Golf League would be responsible for producing broadcasts and marketing sponsorships, which are usually the responsibility of the TV network that owns the broadcast rights. It seems that these issues were responsible for the failure to reach an agreement with Fox, and the talks were ended. With the talks with Fox ended, LIV opted for a partnership with the CW network. The total financial values of the agreement were not publicly disclosed, but it is known that LIV will not receive any rights fee from the network and will continue to bear the production cost as it did during 2022. According to Dennis Miller, president of the CW network, the broadcasts will deliver a highly qualified audience, contributing to the development of the league around the world. With CW's broadcasts and streams, more fans around the world can be part of the energy of LIV Golf and watch its progressive competition that has reinvented the sport for fans, players, and the game of golf. Miller said in a statement, CW Network has 14 hours of weekly programming in prime time. The TV network is owned by the Nexter Media Group, which is considered the largest television and media company in the United States. For the first time, CW will exclusively broadcast live mainstream sports competitions. Norman praised CW Network and said he was honored by the partnership. We are excited to join forces to bring LIV Golf to life even more as it solidifies its position in professional sports. He said, with this partnership, LIV apparently seeks to approach a franchise model like the NFL and NBA. If you love golf and want to know everything that happens in the golf world, subscribe to the channel to be the first to know about our upcoming videos.